This is Ogtv Comprehensive News. I am Olayinka Shodunke. Our top stories. Niger President visits President Muhammadu Buhari, promises increased cooperation with Nigeria. Senate urges 36 governors to grant autonomy to judiciary. INEC threatens to blacklist parties with violent congresses and conventions. Delhi announces lockdown as India's COVID cases surpass 200,000 daily. World peace begins with inner peace.
And coming up on the sports segment of the news, Super League to sue UEFA over threats to ban clubs, players. These and many more when I return later. My name, Hakeem Akitunde. You're welcome.
Starting us off, Nigeria and Republic of Niger are resolved to begin and expand the beneficial ties between the two neighboring countries for the benefit of their people and economies. This was the high point of the high-level talks between President Muhammadu Buhari and the visiting president of the Republic of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum. The Nigerian leader is visiting Nigeria for the first time since coming to power on the 2nd of April.
Très intense. Nous avons les mêmes intérêts économiques.
There's a joint commission, the Nigeria and Niger joint commission. I hope that President Muhammadu Buhari will also push for this joint commission to come up with concrete projects and proposals for the two countries to pursue. There's a railway line from Maradi to Katsina, which is also part of integrating the economies of the two countries. And that now Niger is going to become an oil exporting country. And so also increasing cooperation with Nigeria to promote and develop commerce for the advantage of the two countries.
Now, Ogtv government has commissioned JAM certified computer-based test center with over 300 computer systems facilitated by a member of the Federal Character Commission from Ogun State, Honorable Abiodun Akinlade, at the JAM International Schools, Owode Yewa. The official commissioning performed by the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimot Salakoyedele, commended the facilitator and thanked him for bringing soccer to the people who in the past have to travel far to neighboring towns before writing the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations.
So I commend Honorable Akinlade for seeing this need and putting in a facility here to plug this need. This is a need that, this is a facility that meets an immediate need, but leaves a legacy in the lives that have benefited from it. People who give education to, that are building their future and giving them innumerable opportunities to excel and achieve so much in life.
Chairman, Federal Character Commission, represented by former Deputy Governor of Taraba State, Alhaji Amaya Abubakar, described Honorable Abiodun Akinlade as a good ambassador of Ogun State, and this he has demonstrated in many ways.
But I want to tell you that those of us from the Fano, we would like to have multiples of his type in our society. The man is a great man. The man you see here is a man that is focused.
Honorable Abiodun Akinlade, three-time House of Representatives member who has impacted in so many ways into the Central District, said he put the CBT together to answer the call of his people.
I want to assure you, as the Federal Character Commissioner, representing of the West, our slots, our chances at the federal level will not be given to anybody.
Nigeria's security challenges can be addressed if the government at all levels give priority attention to socio-economic needs of the masses, backing it with prevalent prayers to Allah, particularly in this month of Ramadan. In a sermon titled Nigeria's Insecurity, Causes and Solution, Islamic View during the Ramadan lecture hosted by the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noemod Salako Oyedele in Ota, an Islamic scholar, Imam Abdul Wasil Akimboyede, identified abuse of office, inequality in resource distribution and employment as part of the reasons for the challenges facing the nation.
Ọlọ́run ti sọ kalẹ̀ fún wa pé tẹ́ ẹ bá ṣe lé èsì tí ó ti dé ẹ̀bọ́ rẹ̀, tẹ́ ẹ bá ṣe lé èsì tí ó ti dé ẹ̀bọ́ rẹ̀. Nígbà tó wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀, àfi ká wá wo gbogbo àdánwò tó bá Nàìjíríà lásìkò yìí àtàgbègbè tiwa. Kí làwọn tó fà á? Nígbà tó wá ṣẹlẹ̀ tán, kí làwọn tó dá sílẹ̀? Ọ̀nà wo lọ̀nà àbáyọ tá a fi lè yọ kó nú ẹ̀?
Ramadan lecture and iftar for the League of Imams and Afars are in attendance Chief of Imams of Ota, Igbesa, Ado-Odo Ota, Agbara, several other Imams and Afars from Ado-Odo Ota local government, along with the royal fathers led by Olota of Ota, Alayelua Oba Abdulkabir Obalanlege, in attendance. In our special greetings to the royal fathers and Islamic clerics, the chief host, who is the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noemod Salako Oyedele, admonished the clerics to continue to pray for the country and at all times guard against inflammatory sermons in order to return Nigeria to a more prosperous and buoyant nation.
Gbogbo àníyàn yẹn àdúrà náà ti máa ṣe fún wọn. Wọ́n ṣe máa pè pé nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ bí kọ̀ọ̀kan ṣẹlẹ̀ bí òun náà ni wọ́n sáré káàkiri pé náà la ṣe lè ṣe. Wọ́n ṣe sọ àti ṣe joint security service, ṣe security trust fund, àti ṣe àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Gbogbo ẹ̀ náà nínú pé kí a lè bá ẹ̀kún gbogbo security yìí dúró kọ́lọ̀ náà kò tí wá gbà fún wa.
In a special remarks, Olota of Ota, Oba Abdulkabir Obalanlege, appreciated the well-packaged and delivered lecture by the cleric, saying Nigerians should play their roles to support government to achieve a peaceful and progressive nation. One after the other, the Islamic clerics took turns to pray for Ogun State, Nigeria, and Ado-Odo Ota local government. The iftar with the League of Imams and Afars and Royal Fathers is one of the series to be hosted by the Deputy Governor of Ogun State. Now, dedication and perseverance are the hallmark of achieving greatness in life. The General Manager of Ogun State Television, Mr. Festus Kehinde, stated this during a get-together send-forth party held in honor of Mr. Joseph Popola and Mr. Omoshikeji as they bowed out of active service. Adebola Oshomoji covered the event held at the station premises. Our report.
It was a moment of excitement for Mr. Joseph Popola and Mr. Ajimi Shetemi Omoshikeji, who was represented by his wife, Mrs. Bamitale Ajimi Shetemi, as the management and staff of Ogun State Television organized a get-together retirement party in recognition of their contributions to the development of the station. General Manager of Ogtv, Mr. Festus Kehinde, led other members of staff to eulogize the retirees.
Thank God for this day. It's a glorious day. It's a day that we are appreciating two of our members of staff that serve also diligently and dedicated. We appreciate them. For Mr. Ajimi Shetemi, he happened to be one of the people that continue to be employed without discrimination. In Ogun State, we are so generous and open-minded.
No, I inherited Popola. Though I worked with Popola as a program staff, he's somebody that, believes in discipline, constituted authority,
Because I remember when we were together in camera, we used to lead prayers. So we thank God for his life.
If he's at fault, he knows and he will apologize to you. Even if you are a kid,
anytime you call him,
he will accord you that respect without putting you down and then take to that instruction and follow suit.
While appreciating the management for their thoughtfulness, the duo described retirement as the beginning of open highway to many opportunities ahead.
When I joined the service of Ogtv in 1994, before then I started as a freelance cameraman. So, but after some months, I was enlisted into the service of this organization called Ogtv. And since then, I have been doing everything humanly possible to make sure that I do my best.
The former head of camera unit and a staff of transport unit, Mr. Joseph Bokwola and Mr. Ajimi Shetemi Omoshikeji, were thereafter presented gift for their outstanding performances while in service. Adebola Oshomoji, Ogtv News.
Congratulations once again to Mr. Joseph Bokwola and Mr. Ajimi Shetemi Omoshikeji. Now, on the 29th of May 1999, Nigeria returned to democratic governance after 33 years of military rule. Since then, the country has had 5 circles of elections to determine who govern it at the federal and state levels. Benga Adekoya in this special report examines the nation's elections and its quest for qualitative governance. His report is presented in this package.
Nigeria's current democratic experience is by far the longest since its independence in 1960. In the First Republic, civil rule lasted for less than 6 years, while the Second Republic was even shorter, a mere 4 years. The worst was the unstable and experimental Third Republic, which endured for 1 year and few months. Speaking with Ogtv News, respondents say for democracy to thrive, there must be 5 basic features, which are periodic free, fair elections, a vibrant opposition, rule of law, and respect for human rights.
I would want to describe Nigeria's election as work in progress. We are not there yet, but we have made some progress. But whether that progress is commensurate with the investment in our electoral process is another debate on its own. I would want to say that we could have done better than we are doing, but I still wouldn't say that we've not made some progress.
Although Nigeria might have fared better under civil rule, qualitative governance is not being delivered compared to other developed nations.
We don't need to, shy away from the fact that there is not like qualitative in our governance in Nigeria. Unless we have good, credible election, the credible, fair, free election, we cannot have qualitative governance. And why am I saying that? I'm saying that because it is only when the government is credible that it can come about and do what it's supposed to do. When a government that is that comes in through the back door, that is seen not to be credible, that is brought in with an election that is not full, that is not fair, you will have a lot of reasons to patronize so many people in the polity.
They have ever called on Nigerians to be alive to their civic responsibilities by coming out en masse to elect ideal candidates and desist from acts of electoral violence, among others.
I believe that the biggest problem that has befallen our elections over the past years has been violence. Electoral violence is a terrible thing, and we will make sure that as much as possible it is eliminated completely from our system, or at the very least kept to the barest minimum.
By and large, respondents also called on government to be more proactive in its poverty alleviation programs, saying democracy does not thrive on an empty stomach, neither consolidated when the majority of people live in abject poverty.
The diversity of content disseminated by media has created opportunities as well as unprecedented access to information as the media explicitly seek to directly engage the public in potential activities and updates on political matters. In the special report, Margaret Okunola x-rays the roles of media in politics as well as risk attached. A report.
Media are platforms through which information passed from one person to another or from one place to another. Ideally, the media serves several essential roles in a democratic society. While speaking with Ogtv News, Respondents agreed that the importance of media in politics is very enormous and beneficial to all.
The role of the media in politics is very, very important because the media should put everybody on their toes. They should be the watchdog of the society. They should bring issues to the fore. The media should also play the role of agenda setting when what are the things we need to do? What should be the topic of discussions in the society? What do we need to do one after the other to make things go smoothly in the society? So if the media is up and doing in politics, with the politicians on their toes, bringing issues, bringing agendas and issues for public debates and scrutiny.
What are the risks of the wrong use of media in politics?
Media represent the medium through which informations are passed to the public. So when such a very vital organization or institution is used wrongly, definitely you know society, the backlash will be on the society. The risk attached to it will be breakdowns of law and order. There will be breakdown of law and order. So because when people hear that something has been done which is wrong, they will quickly find a means.
They further advised on how to use the media in the right way in relation to politics.
Balance our reportage. In other words, take every side of a story. Don't do a jaundiced reporting. Don't skew your reports. You must report as it happens, and that is when society will benefit from it. So in other words, you don't even tilt towards any particular political party. Even if you work for government, you work for a public station, or you work for a private station, you must balance your stories, because it's through reportage that big people get what people call dividends of democracy. Why Section 22 of the Nigerian Constitution expressly states that journalists must uphold the accountability of government to the people.
They called on media practitioners to balance their reportage before disseminating information needed and updates required to the public in order to make thoughtful decisions about leadership and political policies. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
Disturbed by the growing reports to destruction of its property and attack on its personnel by partisans, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has threatened to blacklist political parties whose members or supporters go haywire during their congresses and or conventions. INEC said it has watched with utmost dismay and profound concern the recurrent acrimony, violence and destruction of property, including the Commission's property and equipment, which have characterized some recent political parties' congresses across the country. National Commissioner and Chairman of its Information and Voter Education Committee, Barrister Festus Okoye, in a statement issued on Monday in Abuja, noted that the level of violence is making it very difficult for the Commission to exercise its statutory oversight responsibility. Still ahead in the news, Senate urges 36 governors to grant autonomy to the judiciary. More news and reports after the break. Welcome back. The federal government is not just connecting the seaport to the rail network, but expediting actions on getting into the terminals, which inevitably would enhance cargo delivery and evacuation while saving cost and turnaround time. Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, gave this indication while on an inspection of the Apapa corridor to discuss impediments to accessing the APN terminal.
The equipment
because this one is useless. That's what it is.
To now, it has been agreed by all stakeholders that this customs scanning site will give way for the trucks to enter the APN terminal in Apapa. Despite fulfilling necessary provisions, the tax seems huge than earlier envisaged.
Commission this project without that, because it's not just one track. There are several tracks. That's one of the tracks that we are going to fix. So all we are doing is to make sure that out of the 3 tracks, 1 or 2 at least can get to the quay, so that we can commission, pending when the other ones are completed. As a result of these challenges we are meeting inside the seaport.
Key players in the rail subsector would be looking at options in the card, especially means of navigation around the 750 meters available for tracks to get into the APN terminal if the customs scanning site is not removed to get the required 800 meters.
We have to get to the seaside so that the ship can load direct to reduce multiple handling of goods. And by so doing, you will reduce costs of the movement. Because presently we now get ourselves involved in multiple handling. You have to pay for truck to take it to the lorry head. That's why the minister is insisting that we must get to the seaside, and which is the best way to go for Nigeria.
The interest of key players is how to kickstart operations of the standard gauge in an atmosphere devoid of any impediments to accessing cargoes. The Senate has urged 36 governors to grant autonomy to judiciary. It insisted autonomy for judiciary is non-negotiable. Chairman, Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, made the call while answering questions from reporters in Abuja. Bamidele said it is laughable to be grappling with judicial autonomy at this stage of the nation's development. The Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria had declared an industrial action and nationwide protest to compel governors to obey the 1999 Constitution has amended an Executive Order 10, which granted autonomy to the judiciary in the country. It was a battle of wits on Monday in Benin City, Edo State capital, as hundreds of lawyers from the 5 branches of the Nigerian Bar Association in Edo State were barred by security agents from gaining access to the government in order to submit their letter to Governor Godwin Obaseki calling for financial autonomy for the judiciary. The NBA members, led by the chairman, Benin Branch, Pius Ohiwo, and were drawn from various branches of the union in the state. After waiting for over 1 hour, the lawyers marched to the Edo State Council Secretariat of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, where Ohio told journalists that their visit to the government house was on the directive of the national president of the NBA, Olumide Akpata, who hails from Edo State, that they should present their letter of appeal to the governor to grant financial autonomy to the judiciary. Contractors numbering over 300 on Monday stormed the Federal Capital Territory Minister's office in Abuja and blocked major entrances over 1 million naira bribery allegation against the FCT Permanent Secretary, Mr. Olushade Adeshola. The contractors, who claim they executed various COVID-19 contracts for the FCT administration between March 2020 and April 2021 without being paid, accused the permanent secretary of 1 million naira bribery before any contractor will be paid. They further alleged that the permanent secretary has been paying some of the contractors, especially those who had agreed to part away with 1 million naira bribe. The protesters also alleged that they supplied various medical equipment and personal protective equipment, PPEs, and other things used in containing the pandemic. The Ondo State Security Network Agency, the Amotekun Corps, has arrested over 250 cows following a distress call and petition by farmers in the Ifedore local government area of the state. The state commander of the State Security Network, Amotekun, Adetunji Adeleye, disclosed this to journalists in Akure, the state capital, on Sunday at the signing of an agreement for the release of the cows. He lamented that when he visited the farmland to assess the level of destruction, he discovered that the herders destroyed over 300 hectares of farmland with crops including cassava, maize, cocoyam, and yam. According to him, the herders even went ahead to uproot cassava, cocoyam, and yam tubers to feed their cows. Adelaide noted that government would henceforth prosecute owners of seized cows and auction the animals after getting a court order. Gunmen numbering about 20 in the early hours of Monday attacked the zonal police headquarters, Zone 13, Upo, Anambra State. They razed some offices and scores of vehicles during the attack. Reason behind the attack could not be ascertained as at press time. A police officer who pleaded anonymity said the hoodlums were rebuffed from getting into the armory department of the place. A bystander said there was heavy gunshots before the offices and vehicles went ablaze. More than 700 victims of snake bites have so far been treated in Catholic Hospital, Bishop Murray Hospital, Makodi. Reverend Father Peter Paleve, Health Coordinator, Catholic Diocese of Makodi, disclosed this in Makodi yesterday when the state governor Samuel Orton visited the hospital to sympathize with victims of the bandit attack last Saturday. The priest said that the hospital is renowned for the treatment of people who suffer snake bite. Reverend Father Apele appreciated the governor who extended his magnanimity to those who are lying critically ill by paying their hospital bills. Increased mortality, ill health, and reduced life expectancy are highly associated with low socio-economic status. These are some of the effects of economic deprivation on the psychological well-being of individuals, as highlighted by a respondent who spoke with Ogtv News. Elizabeth Esson reports.
Economic deprivation is the consequence of lack of income and other resources which cumulatively can be seen as living in poverty. The relative deprivation approach to poverty examines the indicators of deprivation, which are then related back to income levels and resources. Nigerians who spoke with Ogtv News in Abeokuta metropolis confirmed